Welcome. Good to meet you all. I am Ray Shows, the founder and artistic administrator of the St. Paul String Quartet competition, and I'm delighted to have the Pelios Quartet on the screen tonight to tell us all about themselves and us get to know them a lot better. You guys are from the Chicago area, and I would like to start with a very simple question. How did you all get together?
Yeah, so we're all part of the Music Institute of Chicago, and with coaches and directors and such, we were put together into a string quartet, and so we've been playing together for the last, I guess, school year. For the whole school year, we've been playing together. Yeah.
So you new this year as a quartet starting in the fall, and were you friends or acquaintances before that in other quartets? Do tell.
Yeah, well, we've been doing the academy. Clark is the new one this year.
Okay.
And me and Tristan were new last year, but we've all kind of known each other because me, Amelia, and Clark are from Wisconsin, so we've bumped into each other at like competitions and such. So it's we all know each other.
That's fantastic. Well, I figured as much. It's a smaller world than you think, and chamber music even makes it even more rarefied. But I'm glad they put you together. One of the most challenging things is to find a name for a string quartet. So I love the stories. Can you tell me how you came to Pelios and what it means?
Yeah,
Well,
sure. Oh.
Go ahead.
So my mom actually found the name. She was researching, I guess, on the internet. I don't really know where she found it, the name, but yeah, it's some sort of god. I don't really know.
The god of emotions.
Is it really, Clark? Is it the god of emotions?
Yes.
I like that.
Yeah, we're hoping to be as emotional as possible within the constraints of sophisticated classical music, but we found that name and it had a nice ring to it, so we went for it.
It is, considering the 18 years that I've been doing this and the 36 years in a professional quartet, I've never heard anybody call themselves the Pelios. So you guys have now been the very first one. This is a good segue. So with all that emotional stuff going on, tell us what is, and anybody can answer this, or a group of you can, describe your quartet's performance style.
I would say we're very passionate, especially on stage, and even in rehearsals. I feel like we definitely try to blend our sounds together, and I feel like all of our personalities really match, and I think it really shows when we're on stage, because I think we all kind of move at each other and we look at each other, and sometimes we can't help but to smile because we know like there's that one part that we like never get right, and then we finally get it, and it's just like it's really special sometimes. And so I think that each of our emotions and personalities really blend pretty well, and I think it really shows on how we perform on stage and how we just act.
Why do you play chamber music, and why string quartets? I know you were put in a group together, but why do you play chamber music?
Yeah, I think it's just really interesting to be able to listen to other people's opinions about the music and kind of discuss different ideas, different colors, different emotions, and trying to make one idea out of it and trying to embody it all together instead of having, I guess, 4 separate ideas. I think that's a really interesting point about chamber music.
Yeah, Amelia nailed it in the head there. I would say for string quartet particularly, I really enjoy the repertoire and the specific sound you get when you've got 4 string instruments ringing together, and the overtones and everything is really something else. And when it comes down into such a small setting, yet there's 4 strings, it really is well matched and sounds great.
Yeah, I really agree with what Clark said, but like on top of like the repertoire selection, I think on top of that, just like the string quartet sound, I think each of the strings blend really well together, and because of that, I think it's just like a really special way of chamber music. Like I love piano trios as well and everything, but when those rare occasions when everybody's in tune and all like the strokes are the same and the sound really blends together, I think it's just something really special. And you can like, it feels like it's one big instrument, and sometimes it's like you really don't feel that in many other settings. So yeah.
Ellen, your turn.
Okay, I think everyone kind of hit the playing as a group thing and growing together. So I guess something I completely agree with all of that. I'd just say that another thing about that you can learn a lot from is like everyone's individual playing styles and how it can help you grow individually. Obviously the group sound is amazing and playing in a string quartet is epic because you can like explore how an individual cello sounds alone instead of hearing all of them play in an orchestra, or it's just you learn a lot too about how you can apply all those little things to your own instrument. So it's really fun.
I love the fun part connected with the learning and getting to know each other, but also letting people know who you are. I think that's fantastic from all of you. You know, these are fantastic pieces you're doing. I mean, Debussy and Bartok. Do you have a favorite of the two? Do you lean toward one? Do you feel like you kind of really rock one more than the other? What do you think?
Definitely WC.
No, I
I was gonna
I was gonna say
Go
the
Clark!
Bartok. The Bartok.
I was gonna say Bartok.
100%,
Bartok for sure.
because our
Yeah.
groups can be like really unhinged, like energy wise, and we've gotten to the point where we would like scream specific measures to get the energy going.
Amelia, what do you like? What do you think?
You know, I was gonna say WC as well. I think there's a way that we, I guess, blend our sounds that I really enjoy working on, and I think that yeah.
Tell me a story about the quartet. Just something fun. Or
Tristan, you got
sad.
I have one.
Oh,
I was thinking about funny things we should talk about, and I the first thing that came to mind was our new system for keeping ourselves on track. Because sometimes we end up laughing more than playing, but now we have a system where you have a built-in siren that comes from Amelia. If you'd like to demonstrate.
Yeah, would you like a demonstration?
I would like a
All
demonstration.
right, here we go.
Beautiful. That's fabulous. Who came up with that? Amelia?
Yeah, I think I did it once and then I just kept doing it, and then now it gets us right back on track.
Yeah.
Let me ask you about Kevin Lau. Let me ask you about that challenging piece of music. Can you guys talk to me about it?
yeah, he's a rhythmic monster. It's 4/5, 5/8, blah blah blah. It just changes every couple bars, so it really keeps us on our toes with that. And we've really enjoyed this quartet with its title Gliding, and it's like a castle up in the sky for us, and a challenging one because we have to put it together quite quickly, but we're really enjoying it.
Now, one last question here. Basically, can you tell me a genesis story about how you were introduced to string quartet playing in general? Like, when did you first become aware of string quartets? Tristan, would you start us?
Yeah, so my first string quartet was actually the Tour Quartet, which I know competed here last year. And then I left to go to the academy, but it was actually a bunch of my friends, and we were all really close, but even before we started, and we all shared the same set of teachers, or like, friend circle of teachers. And we were like, we should really get started in chamber music because we've done some like unofficial for fun chamber music before, and it was really fun, but it wasn't really serious. So like they kind of put us together, and we were all really happy that we were in the same group because we've known each other for a couple of years already. And I actually went on tour with some of the violinist and one of the cellists, and it was just a really interesting experience because for me, chamber music has always been more family, and I know that as we get more professional, it gets more stressful and stuff. But with my first experience being with a bunch of friends, and it was really like sweet, and we did end up doing pretty well in the end. But it's nice that my first experience was that of like love and bonding than just like like practice. So yeah,
That's fabulous. Amelia.
Yeah, I mean, chamber music has always been a really important part of my musical learning, and this is really the first serious string quartet that I've played in. I did participate in another string quartet during COVID, but it was hard to rehearse, and it was just hard to be able to perform and all that. But I really love being able to rehearse with people all the time. Basically, it feels like I'm always in rehearsal, but it's really worth it. And yeah.
Ellen.
I guess my first experience with chamber music was through like Wisconsin Youth Symphony Orchestras and their chamber program, because none of my parents are like musical, so I didn't know what chamber music was until then. But yeah, I mean, just like right when I started the program, I was like, this is a lot more fun. I was like, this is where, like, this is what I've been missing. Like, it's just you fall in love with being able to play with like your friends that you might not have been able to work so closely with, and you learn so much about them. So
Clark.
Yeah, so my first chamber music experience was a string quartet where the first violinist was my violin teacher, who I like to call my musical mother. So it was really special for me. She helped me with bringing out emotion, and it felt like family to me right from the start. And ever since then, I've loved playing with groups, and this one in particular has been particularly special to me. Tristan, Amelia, Ellen, we're all great friends, and whether we're playing or not, we're always doing stuff together, and I really, really enjoy it.